What's up, guys? It's a Matt Rhule Monday.
No!
Yes, sir.
No!
And this is the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I am Anthony Totri, joined by Shaun DePaz.
Yeah, he is.
Shane Diefenbach.
Yes, I am.
Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Hey, I mean, it was aight.
Yeah.
It was aight.
There was a dub in there, and there were actually 2 dubs, and one went down.
Okay, there you go.
And
You are not
They both
him,
went
dub.
down. They both went down. One went down. The other went down into my stomach because I was eating dubs.
You were eating dubs?
Dizown.
I was eating dubs.
It went
I don't
dizown.
know.
What
It
went
was
down?
The-
Washington?
One went
The
down
dub.
and one went dizown.
the dub that I
Like,
ate.
what's going dizown tonight?
No. The
You
dub
need
that-
to get up, leave, and try again.
No.
Okay.
I was eating dubs.
Look, everybody had a
ASU
better.
was eating dubs.
Everybody had a better weekend than Matt Rhule.
Trevor Bourget was eating
Right?
dubs. Rule was not eating dubs.
He was not. He could be eating dubs soon, though.
He might be
He was eating M's, and the
he
money
might
he's
be
about to
eating
get.
B-dubs in a parking lot somewhere crying. Actually,
I
no.
don't think he's crying.
He's probably eating B-dubs in a parking lot smiling because he's getting paid
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's that. It's like
$850,000 a month
show me the door.
doing nothing.
Yeah. The Ed Orgeron comment
Yeah.
where he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to part ways." He's like, "Okay, what door?"
Tell me when and what door to walk out.
Charles in the chat saying it's just you now because we took that dub.
Yes, sir.
Truly.
$4 Brazil.
And now ASU's on a bye week. ASU's on a bye week, so we didn't hear from Shaun Aguano today. However, that doesn't mean there's not plenty to talk about in terms of ASU football. I do want to start with Matt Rhule because even before he got fired by Carolina today, there was discussion about him potentially being the next guy at Arizona State. I think everybody has been enamored with the fact that this guy kind of turned around a Baylor program that was just an absolute shambles for a while. Turned it around,
Did it themselves.
ended up winning he was the 2019 Big 12 Coach of the Year. Kind of deceiving stat. His final record at Baylor was 19-20. But that's because his first year there, they went like 1-11, and then after that, they went on some crazy runs. But what is your guys' just initial thoughts on potentially Matt Rhule being the next guy in Tempe? No.
Yeah, I'm like at this point. Why I just want to go on now to say the head coach. Like,
Oh, you're sold on it.
I don't
now.
know if I'm fully on it, but if like the other option is Rule, like unless it's someone that blows me away, which Rule does not, like I'd rather stick with Aguano. What does Rule bring? Like,
high end experience.
yeah,
At a big Power 5 school, like.
but yes, but I would rather like somebody with a little bit of like.
You want more flash.
I just think
Not that, because that's the kind of flash that I don't want.
Yeah.
Is it
He's
feels like he's getting
boring
hired for
Flash.
yes.
He's like
Herm Edwards Flash.
He's $100 blank T-shirt
no,
Flash.
Matt Rhule
I mean,
would
in a
be
different way, but like
Matt Rhule would be a better coach than Herm Edwards.
I agree.
But
I
think his ceiling's the same.
I just don't like how immediate. Like, I understand this is the conversation we have to have, of course, but like a couple of like mutuals and people I just follow on Twitter that aren't related to ASU. Theo Ash NFL, who's I really like what he does, covers the NFL. Like social media wise, he tweeted, "Matt Rhule, you are a Sun Devil," right after they lost. I'm like, no, please, no. I just think it's flash, but it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd be like the worst thing, but I don't think it brings any of like what I would like from an Aguano hire. It doesn't bring any of like the excitement of like the unknown of a assistant or anything like that. It doesn't bring any of like the fun of Deion Sanders. I don't know. It's just kind of a boring hire to me.
Do you think the tone of this whole conversation is different if Aguano and ASU don't win over the weekend?
Yeah.
Like, are you a little bit more on the Rhule train?
I don't know if it's more on the Rhule train, but I guess I'm less on the Aguano train. Like, it's more like anything's cool, but
Anything's
at this
cool.
point with Aguano, he is more exciting to me as a potential permanent solution at head coach than Rhule is. And I think there's other guys that are legitimate candidates for this job that are more exciting and I think would be better than Rhule is.
I just I don't want I want somebody that this is my biggest thing is I don't want some guy to come in here with a weird like an avant-garde style of defense. I don't want that. I want somebody that isn't going to completely revamp what it means to be a Sun Devil and just kind of embrace what has worked before.
Yeah.
And it succeed doing so. I think that's why I think Kenny Dillingham would be such a good one, because, he can keep what has worked here the same and get rid of the bad, which means, I don't know, call better plays on offense and be creative, but not come in here and change the entire face of whatever, because I was an NFL coach. This is what I can do. We've seen what an NFL coach can do, and it's not much.
Stop it, Josh.
Look, Cole in the chat saying, I don't care if we're exciting. I just want to start winning.
But I don't think he accomplishes either, really. I don't think he's exciting or we necessarily.
He's definitely not exciting.
Because, like,
Matt Rhule just looks boring as shit.
The prospect of a guy that's already coached at a bigger level at Baylor and is coached in the NFL coming to ASU, it's just like, how much does he want it? How much because you can't, we talked about it with Aguano. You can't fake how much Aguano cares about ASU and Arizona in general. I don't think you get that out of Rhule. And I don't think you get that. But I think you can get that out of an assistant who has not had an opportunity yet and now has Arizona State to thank for getting that opportunity.
Exactly. It's the want to.
Yeah.
And Matt Rhule, I said it as a joke, but it's impossible to have the want to when you have 4 more years of salary that's NFL style getting paid. It just does. I just don't think it's going to translate. Like, I want somebody that is hungry, that wants to prove something. Yes. Aguano fits that bill, but we don't know to what extent how high he can reach.
Yeah. But there's plenty of other people.
You want to give these. You want to have excitement and you want to win at the same time. Go get somebody that is excited to start winning.
Dillingham.
Exactly.
We were talking about TCU's offensive coordinator earlier.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley's younger brother.
Yeah.
That'd be electric. Saul in the chat. You want more of the same. If you hire Aguano, you will continue to get all of the same. I disagree. I absolutely disagree.
I mean, I don't think you beat Washington.
I'm just going to say this right now. There's no part of me that thinks Aguano is the right hire right now. Like,
I think the Washington win was. I don't think he gets the job at all if he doesn't beat Washington. Right? Like, he needed to have a premier win that he can point to in a meeting with Ray and Crow at the end of the year and be like, look, I beat a ranked team. Okay? Which, again, we haven't even talked about it yet. Rhule never did at Baylor. Never beat a ranked team. Okay? Regardless of being the 2019 Big 12 Coach of the Year, never beat a ranked team. Shaun Aguano, in his first 3 games, coached a phenomenal first half against USC, who was number 6 at the time. Right? They got obliterated by Utah in that first game on a 3-day turnaround. And then the improvements have continued to show, and they just beat Washington at home.
You need to set this conference ablaze if you want to get the job, I think. I'm done with the win 3 of the last 6 games. I don't think that does it. I think you really need to show something.
Let's say this team beats UCLA.
Do they win every other game?
Let's assume they beat Colorado, Stanford, U of A, and they magically pull off a UCLA win.
Yeah,
it's hard to.
That gets it done for you.
I mean, probably. Like, how many games left? 6.
Yeah, they've got Stanford, Oregon State, UCLA, Colorado, and Arizona.
5 games?
I believe 5.
This is easily searchable on the internet. They play, so they come out of the bye week with Stanford, and then they go Colorado, UCLA, Washington State, Oregon State.
I forgot about the Washington State game.
Arizona.
So, you have to win. I think you still probably need to sneak one of those bigger teams. Like, you still have to beat one of those bigger teams. You have to beat either UCLA or Oregon State.
Listen, I disagree with Shane entirely that, like, there's a large part of me that thinks Aguano is the right hire right now. A, because you don't beat a ranked team by accident. A. B, they didn't just beat a ranked team. They beat a ranked team with a backup quarterback in, which Bourguet is a little bit more than just your average backup quarterback. He's been here for a while. But, again, you don't win with a backup quarterback on accident. We talked about the excitement that he brought to the program. He clearly has people bought in. I mean, you have.
So what's your baseline, though? What is your baseline to hire him right now?
I need to see him finish the season, but there's a part of me that...
what?
The Washington win.
No. He's asking you, what else does Aguano have to do for you to be
like
sold?
we were just talking about. I mean,
you just need to beat Colorado and U of A. That's all you need.
No. I think you need another win that's like... So you can't... I don't think you can lose to like a... So you can't lose to Stanford.
So you just need to beat Stanford, Colorado, and U of A, and then you're fine with a 3-game losing streak in between there?
You need to be competitive in all those games at least.
I think you also got to look at the other side of it. Aaron Lee in the chat saying, can he recruit, though? Because that's a big selling point that he is time and again said in every single press conference. He's mentioned his pull in terms of getting Arizona kids. We can win with Arizona kids. I mean, just looking at Trenton Bourguet, that's what he said. We could win with Arizona kids.
And what I was going to mention is that you look at Nesta Jade Silvera. He came from Miami, playing for Mario Cristobal, who is a Miami alum, I believe. Like, you want to talk about a guy that should care about his program, and he comes here and he's like, I have never played for a coach that cares as much as Shaun Aguano. That's important.
And I was about to say, that's another huge thing about this is if you can tell that all the players are as bought in as he is, as Nesta is, then that's definitely a big part and definitely swings in some way. But I just don't want to say this is a for sure thing.
I don't think it's a for sure thing, but I think
the right thing to do if he doesn't. We need to. I think it's less on the wins and more about the culture. But you can't. But you also need to. You just need to show more.
Well, I'm also saying this in large part in the context of Rhule, right? Like, I think if you're giving me those two options, I'm choosing Aguano every time.
Same.
So I think it is the right decision in that respect. But I've been consistent about this. I think unless you give me someone that impresses the hell out of me,
you really have to move the needle.
Yeah,
if we're going away,
and especially now after the Washington win, the needle needs to be moved even more. Where, like, if before the Washington win, if they had lost this game and especially they went blown out in this game, and you said Matt Rhule, I'd be like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Now it's like I would rather have Aguano every time.
Well, you also have to weigh, and I think this is something that is different this time around than when Todd got canned. Right? Was there are a bunch of fans now that have seen what Aguano does from an energy perspective or from a culture perspective, and they're already kind of bought in. Yeah. Right? So if Ray makes the decision to not hire Aguano and go in a different route, and it goes poorly, that's on Ray. Yeah. However, if Ray, at the end of the year, Aguano's competitive in a lot of these games, wins some of the ones that we said he should, and they go with Aguano, Ray's got to, at a point, this is for Ray's job now, too, because we all are in agreement that he can't miss on this head coach.
Yeah. And if you hire Aguano in the circumstance you're saying, it's like, you can't blame him for making
No, because look, he's got what he needed to do, and the fans were behind it.
Yeah.
Right? The fans are behind it. The players are behind it. What else is Ray supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, if it goes terribly wrong, he's still, like, Ray, there's a good chance he still loses his job. But, like, at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, anybody else would have made the same decision he did.
You know what's the right place for Matt Rhule? There's 3 schools.
I would say Burger King.
Wisconsin.
Oh,
that's very Matt Rhule. Nebraska. That's very Matt Rhule. And Colorado.
Yeah, you say that Colorado was interesting because the other 2 are Big Ten schools, and Big 12 coach and Big 10 coach they seem diametrically opposed.
Yeah, but Matt Rhule is.
But him in Colorado,
Matt Rhule is somehow both.
Yeah, fair enough. But him in Colorado that'd be pretty interesting. That's a school that I think could use a hire like Matt Rhule.
What does Matt Rhule look like he does if he didn't coach football?
He looks like a substitute teacher. He looks like he works at a school.
Well, he definitely worked for like an establishment in the South, for sure.
An establishment in the South.
Yeah. So whether that be
I look at his face again.
An attorney? Oh, he's on a billboard as a injury lawyer.
Really?
That's a good one.
He seems a little too like jovial for it.
Dude, he has such an attorney face. He has such a Southern attorney face.
I feel like he looks like the type of guy that would own like a random franchise. Like he owns like
Subway?
Yeah, like a Subway or like a Smoothie King or something.
Yeah, you're at the grand opening of like a Chick-fil-A and he was like, has everything been to your has everything been to your met your expectations? And he's like, yes, thank you so much.
Like, I don't really know what my expectations were for this Subway, but I guess
dude, the first time I went to a opening of Chick-fil-A in Syracuse, which was a big deal because there's no Chick-fil-A's up there. There was a motherfucker going around playing the trumpet inside. It was wild.
Inside the Chick-fil-A?
We told him that it was my friend's birthday. He played Happy Birthday on the trumpet. The whole Chick-fil-A was in on it. It was wild.
That's crazy.
I can see Matt Rhule busting it down on the trumpet.
Rhule attorney graphic right now.
Did you know? And I was telling Shaun earlier, Shaun should be all for Matt Rhule because he got a degree from Buffalo.
I don't like
the
UB.
University at Buffalo.
I don't like the State University of New York, University at Buffalo. I hate UB.
Okay,
they're trash. It's a terrible.
He at one point in his life lived in Buffalo.
He lived in Amherst. He didn't live in Buffalo.
Okay,
he lived in the North.
You need to calm down. I'm
just saying.
Getting a little aggressive.
I don't really like UB like that.
Okay. Well,
Bobby Hurley though, UB guy.
Who?
Bobby Hurley, coach at UB.
Oh yeah. Look, it is what it is. Not a lot of people are excited about Matt Rhule quite yet. We'll see what transpires. I do want to stick with ASU football.
Yeah, but Matt Rhule has big restaurant manager energy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like you get not even like a full restaurant,
a TGI Fridays.
Like a Burger King or like an Applebee's.
I can just picture him with a short sleeve button down shirt sloppily tucked into
There's like a stain on the
loose-fitting
bottom.
dress pants. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stain. He's got some cheap
He's
belt.
definitely sweating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Looks like a guy that's
Way too
sweating a
much.
lot.
Huge sweater.
Oh,
Sorry
no.
to jump in the middle of what you're going to say.
Oh
but
God, poor Matt Rhule, man. Oh God, he's gonna hate this when he listens to this because you know he's gonna listen to it.
I mean, I'm not. I don't have a problem with him as a person.
Matt Rhule is gonna be sitting on a beach somewhere, getting ready for his $850,000 check to hit, and then just be listening to the PHNX Sun Devil show. Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? I'm gonna go take the Colorado job just to prove them wrong.
Good luck with that.
Look, not so excited for Matt Rhule, but I am excited for our takeover event this Friday.
Turn me up.
What are you most excited for? Either mullet or for the taco bar? Got 4
I was
piece.
gonna say hockey, but
Or that's also an
it's kind
option.
of like a Mount Rushmore of things I'm excited about, and it's
A
just
Mount Rushmore of things I'm excited about.
hockey, mullet, taco
Mullet
bar.
arena or mullets?
Well, mullet arena and mullets and
Okay.
taco bar.
That's
Mhm.
fair.
Yeah.
What about you?
Taco bar, hockey bar, hockey taco bar.
Hockey taco bar?
Just saying the words. Now.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, I'm just saying words now.
Hockey taco bar, dome, powers, hockey, mullet.
I'm just an SEO
Hockey,
machine right now.
Hockey. Look, guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you missed out,
hockey.
if you missed out on getting tickets to the event, they sold out super, super quick. But don't worry, we're going to have plenty more takeover events, not just for ASU, but I know the Suns, Coyotes, all of them are going to have some great events. Definitely get ready for
And you
those
get
and get
first
your tickets.
access when you're a member.
Very true.
Just saying.
Look, if you guys are going to go to Four Peaks to drink, though, you do got to be 21 or older to consume alcohol and enjoy it responsibly. Let's talk about another part of the weekend that was probably the most surprising. Trenton fucking
hey,
Bourget.
no, it's Trenton, mother effing Bourget.
Yeah,
He's him.
Trenton-
He's him.
Trent him, mother effing Bourget. His
He's him.
parents. It's on the birth certificate. I saw it.
Really?
Mother effing.
Trentham T.G. Bourget. Trentham, that guy Bourget.
Ah, that's on the birth certificate
Yeah.
too?
Yep.
That's absolutely crazy. Saul talking about how he's a
How much has it hurt
Tucson
that
guy.
he's a traitor? I mean,
Is he a traitor?
the
Damn.
walk on that just beat UW, so I'll
That's
take
true.
it.
That's true. But is it time? Are we all in on a quarterback competition?
I
From
mean,
what
this
this guy
guy
did?
sound
I
very
think
coach
he-
speak, but there should be a competition every week.
I just
Ew.
think he's totally deserved it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a thing where if Emery's not 100, it's a Cowboy situation. If Emory Jones is not even if he's 99%, I want Bourget in there. Like Emery, I still think can be a good quarterback, so I don't want him forced back until he's 100% healthy because you saw what Bourget was capable of. But I mean, if Emery is not ready and Bourget beats Stanford in a convincing fashion, then it's like I feel like you kind of have to ride with the hot hand because it's not like Emery was good in the beginning of this game, but he has not been wildly impressive throughout the entirety of the season.
No, Trenton Bourget in that half of football that he played looked better than Emery's looked all year.
He looked better than a lot of quarterbacks.
yeah.
Well, I tweeted it out. Looking at the
yeah.
numbers, he had a higher completion percentage this weekend than Michael Penix Jr. He had a higher passer rating than Cameron Rising. He threw for more touchdowns than Bo Nix, and he had a higher QBR than Caleb Williams. And he played 3 quarters.
Best quarterback in the Pac-12? I mean, based on the sample size, you have to say yes. I'm just saying.
It is a
He's
small
had
sample
no
size.
bad games.
So but that's also something I feel like we have to take into consideration that a lot of people are going to throw out, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, Trenton Bourget is him. He's the savior. Like the second coming is here. He's the Messiah. Not necessarily.
Messiah Swinson? What?
I'd love to see him. We haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Like put him back on the milk carton.
Put him in. Make him a quarterback. Let's see what happens.
No, man, Bourget, like what he was able to accomplish he completed 15 of 21 passes, threw for $182, 3 tutties, 71% completion percentage. He looked in charge. Like he commanded an offense that looked like it had been missing a leader for the entirety of the season.
Yeah. It looked like there was just the guys had confidence in him. You heard what Ngata said. They knew who he was.
Yep.
And like at the end of the day, he probably doesn't have like the physical skills and physical talent that Emery has, which is why Emery ended up being the starter in the first place. But when it comes to A, being bought in, B, having the confidence of your teammates, and C, just like understanding what's going on, Bourget has that. Like he's been here for a minute. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Josh, to answer your question, he had a QBR of 93.9 and a passer rating of 181.9.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's really
That's
good.
so weird.
What?
Sounds pretty good.
Just how good he was.
We looked at each other for a second after that touchdown from Xavier Valade, and then the kickoff happened, and then ASU was getting ready. I think it was like third down. And Shane gave me one of those looks in the press box.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Where he was
the
eyes
got big, the eyebrows raised.
It's one of the, where he tilts his head a little bit. He's like, hold on now.
Yeah, the hold on now look. This is the hold on now look.
It's a look that like you will see from time to time.
Marion hits a 3.
Only down 26.
8. Yeah.
Don't let Marion get hot.
Oh my goodness. But that's what it was. And then at a certain point, it's like, it was like, oh, wait a second. They're going to do it. Like, they're going to go toe to toe with one of the better offenses in the conference with Michael Penix Jr. still back there.
The most defining moment of the game for me was the second I saw Emory not get up and I started scanning the field. I'm like, which one's taking the snaps? Which one's taking the snaps? And then I saw the 16. I was like, oh, dear God, thank you. Because I was afraid it might be Paul Tyson.
Oh, man, poor Paul.
I mean, he doesn't have the ability of Emory or the rapport.
Can you imagine if Trenton Bourguet had the physical attributes of Emory Jones or Paul Tyson? Like if he was physically built like either of those guys.
I can't.
It'd be hard to imagine, yeah. If he was...
He'd be Lamar Jackson.
I mean, are you suggesting that one of those other guys is Lamar Jackson?
No, but I feel like a combination of the two.
I mean...
The raw talent... I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying words.
I guess my question here is, what does Paul Tyson contribute to this equation?
The size.
Okay.
The size.
Okay.
And the arm strength.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So are you saying Trent Bourguet couldn't be Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say he's not. He's not built like that.
He's not a future NFL MVP.
Time will tell, I suppose. What was your original question? Was if there should be a QB competition?
Yeah,
right?
and then we kind of got lost. Should there be a quarterback competition between Emory Jones and Trent Bourguet? Or should Emory, as soon as he gets back healthy, be given his spot back?
I mean, I think it should be his spot to lose, but I think the standard should be higher. I mean, again, it is coach speak, but like to a certain extent, I do think in this situation, there needs to be a competition every week. Like Emory needs to clearly be the better quarterback. Especially if the players are bought into Bourguet. Like if they're waiting for Emory to come back, then that's important, keeping control of the locker room in that sense. But yeah, I mean, I guess there kind of does need to be. It depends on what happens in the Stanford game, I guess, because I think if off one.
So okay. Let's assume Emory's healthy, right? After the bye week, he gets right.
Yeah.
You don't have the Stanford game. Like, who are you starting?
You got to start Emory, I think.
You start Emory.
I think so. It's just. Because the thing is
we can't see what happens in practice though.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But based off Bourguet was very good, but Emory was also very good.
The game plan was also very good.
Exactly. They both played very well, and obviously it was very limited for Emory, but he played well at the beginning of that game. It's gonna be tough to explain what happened if off of 3/4 of a football game essentially, Bourguet plays well, then he comes to Stanford and they lose. It's like, I thought Emory was the guy. Why wasn't? What happened there? I think if Bourguet, this is the only game that Bourguet gets while Emory's not 100%. I think you have to go back to Emory.
I finished making something. Can I show it?
Yeah, you can show your project.
This is Matt Rhule as an injury lawyer.
Oh God.
He looks like he
that
looks
is
like
perfect.
He looks like he's like a school superintendent or a principal or something.
Oh my gosh,
that smile! That's what I'm saying. He's a
that
little
is
too
so perfect.
He's
well
a little
done.
too. Yeah,
well
I mean, in the limited time you had, that's impressive. But he seems a little too jovial to be a lawyer.
But I think that's what some of the injury lawyers are. You're kind of off put by why are you so happy that I'm injured?
Yeah,
but
like
you're
that guy Rafi on all the buses.
Yeah.
But I feel like he also doesn't have
Can't
like the
stand it.
awkwardness of a lawyer.
You can take that off now. It's kind of.
No, I just kind of want to look at it. He looks like that. That's what you're gonna see on like a park bench, like in Tempe.
Yeah.
He looks like he's yeah, that's fair. I feel like real estate agent or he's running for like city council. But like Tempe City Council, not Phoenix City Council.
You know who he looked like? Not Matt Rhule. Trent Bourguet.
Who?
He looked like Geno Smith.
You know him?
Geno Smith has
Whoa.
been playing good, dude.
Gene Him Smith.
Gene Him Smith.
I
don't like that.
I called him Geno Himth
Himo
after
Smith?
the first game.
Himo Smith.
Himo Smith.
What about him?
Just him.
Just him.
Well, Trent Bourget is him.
Gino H. Smith
Josh,
Jr.
I'm pretty sure I
Look,
see that on the billboard.
I've got a
guy,
very,
10 every day.
very interesting question that I want to get your guys' thoughts on. But before we do that, I want to tell everybody about More Furniture. Look,
Man,
Sean,
you're teasing me.
Sean, you're moving into a new apartment
I
soon.
am moving into a new apartment this weekend, actually.
You getting furniture?
I mean,
This
no,
weekend, really?
No, Totri.
What day?
I mean, I've got friends.
Laying on the floor.
Look, I've got friends that
All
don't
the
have
whole-
furniture. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Those friends are foolish.
Or they're just, financially,
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a place to get affordable furniture,
Tell
check
the
out
people.
More Furniture.
Tell the
Fall
people.
Sale.
Look, More Furniture is the place to go to spruce up your guys' home, your apartment, whatever you need furniture for. They've got, Shaun said at checkout, More Furniture's fall sale at morefurniture.com. Plus, you're going to receive a $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. More Furniture is always the answer, guys. So back to the question.
I'm scared.
Well, it's you shouldn't be scared.
Is
my
it
friend.
Bourget related?
It is
still?
Bourget
Okay.
related. It's not an out-of-pocket question. So we talked about Aguano, and we've talked about how there is a lot of pull with Arizona coaches. Obviously, everything he does is somewhat of an audition,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, look, we can win with Arizona guys.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of this quarterback competition do you think you also got to look at the selling point for Shaun Aguano, right? If he's able to go win a bunch of these games with Trent Bourget at the helm versus win the same number of games with Emery, well, one feeds his cause a little bit more than the other.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'll say
If Trenton wasn't from Arizona, then
Then it's, yeah.
then it doesn't matter.
But
I don't
he
think
is.
I don't think this Matt. I don't think he's even that thought is even crossed.
You don't
Aguano's
think
mind.
so?
Well, he did bring it up.
In that post-game press conference, immediately, he said, look, we can win with Arizona kids.
Yeah, fair. But I mean, in terms of like trying to win games on a day-to-day basis, like I don't think he's like, oh, Emery's slightly better than Bourget.
But that's what I'm saying, is if you think it is here and there, right? Like there's not a giant discrepancy between the two. I feel like there is a little bit more incentive for him to roll with Bourget.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I do think there is incentive and it looks good. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think that's factoring into his decision. I think he's just choosing the guy that gives him the best chance to win.
Yeah. I don't think he's pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
I don't think he's pushing an Arizona recruit agenda,
But
even though he did mention
It
it.
is
But,
an interesting. I think it's an interesting
No, for
question in the
sure.
regard
No.
that, like, if Bourget does end up being that guy, it looks good on him that he's like, look, I took a walk on from Arizona and made him into a winner in the Pac-12.
And-
what happens if the Spencer Rattlers of the world start coming to Arizona?
And here's
State?
the thing, too. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is
but
it's a
I also
story.
think he's so unique. Like, people expected Trenton to be, like, not this good, but
Yeah.
they expected him to not just be a backup quarterback. He's not just a backup. I think that's a huge part that people are. Also, I feel like we have to do this constantly. For some reason, ASU Twitter just makes shit up. Trent Bourget didn't just get a Corvette. That was a graduation gift that was going to
Yeah.
happen regardless of the outcome, even if he didn't play.
Wait,
So,
people assumed on Twitter that he was just given a Corvette?
given a Corvette for winning that game.
No.
That'd be hard.
Oh, I told him.
That
I
would
told
go
him in the
so
office. I'm
hard,
like,
yeah.
did you see his graduation gift that his parents gave him? And it was like this sick, like white Corvette. I didn't know people thought that he was just given that for like the game.
They just took Emery's NIL deal and gave it to him instead. They're like, well,
Chris in the chat, yeah, we already talked about Matt Rhule, but I want to talk about Chris for a second.
Yeah.
Not only did
Chris
Chris
specifically?
yeah, not only
Okay.
did he call first half over, which
Okay.
he DM'd me about to let me know, but he also took a picture wearing his Daniel Ngata shirt
Love
on
it.
the field.
Absolutely
Shout
love
out
that,
Chris.
man. Shout out Chris. That's awesome, dude. Look, if you took the first half over, I imagine you placed that bet on DraftKings because there isn't a better place to be betting on all sorts of football, on all sports in general. And if you missed out on making some money on college football
Kiss,
Saturday
kiss.
or some NFL Sunday, you guys can always make money
Syracuse
on the
is back this
NFL
weekend, baby.
on Monday Night Football. Look, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. And if that's not enough, everybody can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays right now. For every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100% with payouts bigger than ever. Why bet on football anywhere else? And to make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game day all season long. It's simple. Download DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code PHNX. That's promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Guys, how did college football weekend treat you guys?
College football good.
Not
NFL
well.
bad.
Bad?
Not well. Obviously, it was pretty high on that Utah train
Train crashed right into a wall.
into a mountain. So there was that. What else? Oregon State thought they would nominate Stanford. Also did not happen.
One on a last, you want to kind of hair on
Hey, I did predict the over in the Washington ASU game, though.
Nice.
So I'll take that. But
There
I
you
did
go,
predict the Washington blowout. So
Yeah.
struggle with
I have a
baseball,
nice
too.
9-legger that's just an absolute lock tonight.
Oh,
A
nine-legger.
nine-legger lock.
9-legger lock. I said that as a joke. But with the stepped up same game parlay feature on DraftKings, I got Chiefs alternate spread
Let's
minus.
see. How do we feel about this? Go ahead.
Chiefs alternate spread minus 5.5.
I like
who
it.
are they playing?
The Raiders.
Yeah, I like it.
Under 59.5 alternate points.
Rematch game.
The over is 52.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders
Over-
score much.
Over 254 Mahomes passing yards.
Yes.
Sleepwalks that. Over 19.5 Mac Hollins receiving yards, who's just Devontae Adams, but with a different number.
Yeah, that's disgusting,
They
but I
only
like
to
it.
throw to him. 5 or more Jerick McKinnon receiving yards.
Yeah, he told me earlier it's a toe tree bet for the day.
I like it.
1 Kansas City Chiefs sack.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes.
Over 14.5.
I didn't know what it was, but
rushing
I
yards.
liked it. I literally was talking to. He's a little Pikachu. He's an electric
Yeah.
little rat.
Over 1.5 Chiefs touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chiefs over 19.5 points.
That is the
I mean, that
most
does
lock
feel-
of a nine
What are the
legger
odds
I've
on
ever
it?
seen.
With the stepped up same game parlay feature, it went from plus 750 to plus 1350.
Yeah.
15 pays out 217.
I'd low key throw a hundo on that.
Well, that's why.
Just saying. Just
That's why
saying.
you don't
I'm
have
not gonna.
furniture in your
I'm just
apartment.
saying. Okay. Just saying. Again, minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Keeping it with Arizona State football for a second.
Totri, have you ever showed your legs this much on the show?
I don't know.
There was a lot of
You
late
gonna-
on the show. Yeah.
you
A
gonna-
lot of leg.
Yeah, okay. You just gonna point out my legs like that?
Good leg.
Not really, bro. I got chicken legs.
You don't.
I definitely have chicken legs,
You
bro.
got some nice calves,
I
Totri.
need to hit leg day.
Remember
definitely
when
a lot more often.
your calves got flamed outside the bar?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was one of the
Shane's
wild-
calves
well,
got
no,
flamed.
they didn't get flamed. They got compared and belittled.
Yeah.
But they did say I had nice calves.
You did.
Just not as they said mine were
It was a
more.
pity you have nice calves.
No, they said mine were more practical and his were prettier.
I
I
have
don't
prettier
remember any of
calves.
that part of the
Yeah.
conversation. I just remember.
Well, I was talking to the person. You
Oh,
were just
fair enough.
listening.
What did you hear?
Oh, I just remember Shane trying to brag about his calves and then us turning and being
I
like,
wasn't
"Who
trying
has-"
to brag.
You were, yes, you were. You were
I
like,
was
look
making
at
a-
these bad boys.
I was making a joke about what. Yeah, I said, "Look at these bad boys." Who says that when they're trying to brag about something? Twas a joke. You think I'm showing this off?
I mean, I would if I were you.
I mean,
I didn't say it was bad. I
bro,
just said.
fuck
Um,
shit.
also, Josh saying that he wearing the Hoochie Daddy shorts,
Sheesh.
trying to get those super chats.
Hey man, I show a little bit more leg for those super chats. I ain't
Every
gonna
single
lie.
$5 you donate, Totri will roll up one pant leg.
Well, shit, we get
You got
maybe three super
$10.
chats. 3 super chats, and
He's
then
pantless.
this would turn into a different kind of program.
PHNX
Okay, we need to stop with that.
behind the paywall.
Okay. Back with Shaun Aguano and Arizona State football and the quote-unquote Arizona kids. There was an interesting little letter that was posted to social media yesterday, and it was sent to the ASU administration as well. Put that up on the screen for you guys right now to see, and it's from the Arizona Football Coaches Association. And it's a letter of recommendation for Coach Shaun Aguano. I'll go ahead and read just a part of this because it is pretty long, but it is from Jason Jewell, who is the president of the Arizona Football Coaches Association. He is also the head football coach at Brophy. And he says, to our Arizona State administration, my name is Jason Jewell, the Arizona Football Coaches Association president. I am writing this letter on behalf of all the high school coaches in the state of Arizona in support of a longtime high school football coach in our state, Shaun Aguano. On Friday, October 7th, we sent an email to every high school head coach with a few athletic directors and other members of our association and asked if they would like to write this letter in support of Shaun Aguano to be considered by Arizona State University to be the next head football coach for the Sun Devils. Over the 300 people emailed in a matter of minutes, there was an immediate response of yes from coaches at small schools, Southern Arizona, and the Valley. As of Sunday, October 9th, the tally of responses was over 200 in support of Coach Shaun Aguano. You guys can obviously read that full letter on social media. Shaun, Shane, I want to get your guys' reaction to a letter like that because it's not something that I have personally seen in terms of high school coaches going out of their way to reach out to an administration in support of, I guess, one of their fellow coaches.
Yeah, I mean,
He's a unique guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have to acknowledge first that like there was definitely a self-interest in this.
Yes,
Like,
100%.
In an Arizona high school football coach becoming a head coach of a Power 5 program this fast definitely serves to benefit all the high school coaches in Arizona. But like you said, I have never seen anything like this. Like if he was a piece of shit, they're not writing this letter. Like there's clearly a certain amount of respect that all of these coaches have for him.
Over 300.
Yeah, so it's, and I mean, let's be real. You think like not every high school coach knows who he is. Like they know of him, but they not like they know him personally. So I mean, take him with a grain of salt in that regard. But I mean, that's great. Like it goes back to what we were saying about how the coaches have respect for him, and that only serves to benefit ASU in the recruiting trail. It just again speaks to something we already know, that Aguano is a great guy and has respect of those around him. But yeah, I definitely think there's a certain amount of power to the statement of having all of these people come together to write this letter and be like, this is a guy that you want running your program.
Question for you guys: what do these three coaches have in common? Steve Sarkisian, Chip Kelly, and Shaun Aguano.
They won last week.
That's a weird group.
Yes, they all won last week, but they also are on Kirk Herbstreit's top performing coaches of the week for week 6.
I mean, Aguano definitely deserves that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool seeing. It's just he's doing this for Arizona. That's what he said. Unique. It goes back to this,
but
being,
he's smart. He is not like he's not doing this out of like. I'm sure a good portion of it is like he's genuine in this, but like he's a smart dude.
Yeah,
he knows with everything that he's saying that with this opportunity, it is 100% an audition, right? Like you only get one shot at this because we've talked about how it would be a very weird step down for him to be the interim head coach. And then they bring in somebody new, whether that be Rhule or Frost or whatever. And then to be like,
why were those two the ones you said?
oh.
I mean, those are the last two we really had real rumors about.
I know, but I hate both of them.
But then it would be like, it's a step down of like, do you want to go be a running backs coach again or offense coordinator? Like, probably doesn't stay here, in my personal opinion. I wouldn't stay here. That's a slap in the face.
I think he could get some interest somewhere else.
Yeah, but I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And I think this right here, that letter that was sent, is a big, big eye-opener for Anderson and Crow, right? Because all along, Aguano has been the one saying, look, we can get these Arizona kids here. We can get the Arizona kids here. And now you got a letter from a gazillion high school coaches and administrators saying, yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah. You want to know someone who I think is 100% doing all of this, acting in their own self-interest, is Michael Crow. And this is another thing that only serves to benefit the way the school looks. And so you give this or some other person, like, I'm sure that sways Crow and Aguano. I'm sure Crow is honestly already leaning in Aguano's favor. I mean, I feel like he only serves to benefit from hiring a person like Aguano. And I mean, Ray obviously has a vested interest in the program winning, but again, we go back to talking about how that he's kind of making this hire for his job. This looks good for him.
This is the thing with Ray. The reason why it's scary. Let's say Aguano almost needs to be in a position where there is no choice but to hire him.
Yeah,
because Ray should have given Aguano the job last year, and Herm should have been gone already. That's I said. I talked about this after the season ended last year. I thought Aguano would be the head coach to start this year.
Yeah,
and it just didn't happen. And now it feels like he has to put on a really convincing display because Ray should have made this call a long time ago, and to do it later would make him seem not very smart.
Do you think that moves the needle, like this letter? Or is it just kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool?
I think it's like a splash of gas in the tank, just like a tiny bit. It moves at a tick, because you already knew that the high school programs were behind him. You already knew that this could help get high school recruits here.
Yeah.
This is just physical evidence.
Yeah, I feel like it's a feather and a ton of feathers. Like
it's a feather and a ton of feathers.
Like it's like,
is that a saying or is that just?
I think he just
made up.
Kind of.
But it's like, and it's by itself, it's not. It's whatever, but you add it all together, it's just another thing that it's like, damn, this guy is like Aguano is that guy. Like he's a guy that Arizona loves and loves Arizona and all this stuff. Like it's just another one of those things where it's like, at a certain point, it's this. At least this aspect of Aguano was undeniable. It just kind of adds to that. So it's just another cool thing, I guess, or another reason to like him.
Another cool thing.
Yeah.
Look, I love cool things. One of the coolest things is when Burrito Express gives everybody $4 burritos because Daniel Gatta scores touchdowns. That happened this weekend. And I have never seen so many people on Twitter post that they went to Burrito Express. It was
a
phenomenal.
Cavalry of people.
I went
A brigade of burritos.
As soon as Ngata scored, I knew what I was having for breakfast the next day. And I got burritos for me and my entire family.
The entire tailgate show got burritos.
They're so good.
Johnny had to reiterate. He's like, I know I've had these before, but they are so good.
They're so.
Did you
so
see
good.
that they're doing Ngata burritos?
Are they?
If he scores another touchdown, it's $4 Ngata burritos, or it's a breakfast supreme but Ngata style, and that just means a double bacon and double wrapped.
Ooh,
wow!
Turn me up. I'll take that.
Double the carbs and double the bacon.
Not double potato in there too. Double cheese. Double it all up.
Double it all up.
Two burritos.
Even when Ngata doesn't find the end zone, you guys should be going to Burrito Express because the burritos are
in one pack.
just that good. Before we get out of here, guys, there's something I want to show you.
This freaks me out. I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
Do I
so
know what's coming?
No, you don't know what's coming.
But
October has started, right? We're about a third of the way through now.
I know what this is.
And we've kind of mixed. We've talked about scary movies before on the show. I want to get your guys' take on this. Yes. So it was announced that in December we are going to be getting a Grinch slasher/horror movie called The Mean One, which is set to release on December 15th. What do you guys think about
this? Is a market that hasn't been done right.
Yeah.
The horror Christmas movie market. Krampus, ass. Terrible movie. I haven't seen one good. Gremlins is the closest thing I think you get to.
It's not a horror, but Violent Nights looks interesting.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's like Santa and he's killing people.
Can we also go see
He's a good
Smile?
guy,
We haven't
Santa.
seen I want to go see Smile.
Yeah, I definitely need to see it. My parents are seeing it, I think, soon.
That's ballsy.
This is everything the Winnie the Pooh movie wanted to be.
Oh, was that not good? I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it, but I just like this makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a bad guy
Mm.
being a bad guy. And it's a bad guy.
But like
who's
a
not-
real bad guy.
It's like, yeah, he's not like a violent person or character, but like he's a bad guy.
If it's
Winnie
Jim
the Pooh,
Carrey.
This
Dude,
brings
that
me
would go
to the
crazy.
question I have, right? This is a beautiful alley-oop for you guys to just crash it down like Enoch will this
Enoch.
season, okay?
Oh!
Yeah, I know. Had to give him a little love. So, if you guys could come up with a movie, a scary movie, but from something that is already made, whether it
The
be
Powerpuff Girls.
Cars.
you would y'all just okay. I'm gonna start with Cars.
Sean,
what?
let's do it.
Please explain
I love
Cars,
this idea.
the horror film to me.
I mean,
30 seconds, go.
it's just cars, but they're murdering each other. Like, I don't know. It's not
So like the Transformers, but on crack?
Nah. It's like a car. It's like a bulldozer. There's like a haunted bulldozer, and he just comes
Haunted
through and
bulldozer.
just wrecks people.
So is it like the
no. Okay, Cars 3, where they have like that school bus
Oh.
and the demolition derby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it like a live action
No,
Cars
you know who's
movie
the
or still
main-
animated?
No, it's still animated.
You know who the main villain is? It's that terrifying.
Oh, the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
The Powerpuff Girls would be more. It would be. Is it It's Powerpuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Or is it Powder Puff?
No, Powderpuff's the football.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls, Chemical
X.
XX,
Chemical
because they
Z.
put too much X in there, and you get a backstory on what Chemical X is, and they just start killing.
One more
No,
X and you got a
Chemical Z.
very different show.
Chemical Z, and then it
It's
turns
not
into a
even
zombie movie.
I'm just saying.
Close to that.
I'm just
Chemical Z. But yeah. What else would be good? Toji,
think-
do you have one?
yeah.
Ooh, Elmo.
Elmo, Peppa the Pig. I think
Peppa Pig is terrifying.
a Peppa Pig.
You know Peppa Pig's 7 feet
Caillou?
tall?
Caillou is a horror, I think,
I don't even
already
wanna
by
acknowledge
itself.
that. Yeah. He's a menace. He definitely grew up to be a serial killer.
Did he?
Yes. That kid was a spoiled little brat,
Oh, you know what could be?
and he was bald.
If they made it for
Stop. Wait a second. Why, because he's bald, does he have to be a serial
He
killer?
was neglected as a kid.
Yeah.
But what does this have to do with him being bald?
He definitely seems like he has irrational reactions to not getting what he wants.
Danny, I'll
as an
check it
adult.
out. Black Christmas, 1974.
But again, I want to know what your issue is with Caillou being bald.
Well, it's not that he's bald.
He's not.
He was a brat that happened to be bald,
Yeah.
and the baldness just makes it worse.
Teletubbies as a cult sacrificing to the sun.
Yes.
Oh,
The
Sean,
baby son. Yes.
Sean, we need to make that.
I don't know if I have the facilities for that, but I like the idea.
I don't know if I have
Josh-
the facilities for that.
Josh, let's do it. You,
That's
me,
still one of the
Shaun,
greatest things.
Totri
ever.
can direct.
I don't have the facilities for that.
You
Big
don't
man.
have facilities for that, big man.
Oh my goodness.
I had another one, but I just forgot. Oh, if they can make it for adults, this is very scary by itself already. But Courage the Cowardly Dog, but like adult version.
That was. I don't.
You know what the thing that probably got me into horror, what freaked me out so much as a kid, but I kind of liked the feeling of being scared. That's why you like horror movies, you know, was the episode of Return the Slab.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that.
That is the most terrifying animation I've ever seen in a kid's show.
Dude, you know what was scary
How
as a
is it a
kid?
kid's show?
Was the SpongeBob episode where he had to take
The
the
gorilla?
trash out. No, not
Oh,
the. Well,
that was just out of pocket.
The hash-slinging slasher.
The hash-slinging slasher.
Yeah, that
until
was-
the very end of that episode, that
Make
shit
that
was
into an actual
terrifying.
Or the one where he's waiting at that bus stop
Yes.
Oh my
in the
God.
trench.
Yo, that shit is
Wait, is that
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
that one.
terrifying.
Yeah.
The
God.
Glove World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was what.
Glover World went crazy.
Totally irrelevant. There's
Eating
this
gloves?
Glove
video on
flavor.
TikTok where these people went to they went through a Starbucks drive-through and they ordered like that the entire time. He's like, "Can I get a grande iced americano?" And then they waited for a couple seconds, and the barista's like, "Okay, anything else?" It's the funniest thing.
That's great.
So sorry for everybody on audio that had to listen to that. Look, guys, it's been a lot of fun. We've talked a lot about the big hockey game going on this Friday. You almost trying to scare me, bro?
I'm just trying to get in a spooky mood.
Okay. Well,
All right.
don't scare me. Okay? I scare easy, especially with jump scares.
It didn't work though.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a jump scare. I saw you the whole time. You were there.
Oh, yeah, you were looking at the screen.
You're on the screen, Shane. Like, come on now.
Crap,
What
dang
are
it.
we doing
Look, all I'm
here?
saying is if you guys are trying to go see some of these
Rats.
Arizona State sporting events, or really just sporting events in general, there's
They'll
only
probably be less scary.
there's only one right place to go get your tickets, and that is Game Time. You guys can save up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. It's great for you procrastinators out there. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, you can follow us at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef, and you can follow Shaun DePaz at Shaun_DePaz.
2 fingers up to Christopher Columbus as always.
There you go.
Happy
Happy
Indigenous
Canadian
Peoples
thing
Days.
and Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
Okay, you just try to hijack
Yeah.
the Columbus thing. That's
Okay.
Look, we're going to have some Pac-12 power rankings up for you guys on YouTube. Definitely be sure to check that out. And we will have an audio episode on Tuesday that is strictly ASU basketball.
Neil to go.
Look out for that one.
Or Michael
We
Jordan?
will see
Question
you
mark? Who
guys
wins them all? Question
tomorrow.
mark?
Peace.